Ann Walsh here for Win TV. We are today going to visit our own Brown's Harvest here in Windsor. It's the new Brown's Harvest with a 5-acre maze as well as a children's maze, and you're going to see many, many exciting things here today as far as breads, pumpkin breads, all kinds of breads, as well as there are groups of children here because you can have your school come and have pumpkins, donuts, ice cream. This year they have pumpkin ice cream. Lots of great things going on this morning. So I will take you on a tour, and we will have Kathy Brown and Susan Brown speak with us also. Hope you'll enjoy this feature. Morning, Kathy Brown Martin.
Good morning, Ann.
I see this morning we have a group that's already been out into the field. And do you want to tell us a little about what you do with parties and schools coming in and that kind of thing?
Sure, yes. This group this morning is from Manchester. It's an early learning childhood center. This is their first trip here to the farm. And it's a beautiful day, as you can see. We take them on a hayride. They pick out a pumpkin, and right now they're being served one of our awesome homemade apple cider donuts and a cup of cider. And then after they have their snack, they're going to head over to the maze, the kids' maze play area, and they'll also play on the hay bales, and it's just a beautiful day for the kids to come out.
Okay, so we will follow the tour then. How would that be?
Sure.
So that we see how that works. And I'll walk around with Mike and get pictures of the pumpkins, and we can go back into the field and you can tell us about that as time goes on.
Sure.
But right this minute you need to go over here and serve or help.
Yep.
All right. So we'll just be following you around.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. So as we go along, this is the Learning Center, and all these children, as Kathy said, happen to be from Manchester. Many schools come here, and they do have, as Kathy explained, the various things that they can do with their introduction to farming, for one thing, the fun of picking out a pumpkin, the tasting of apple cider. And here's Kathy talking to the group right now.
Cider mill right here in Connecticut in Avon. I would like everybody inside the tent, including the adults, to please remain seated while we're doing this because we don't want any accidents, anybody tripping up. When you're through, there's a trash can right over here, the big orange pumpkin. If you can put your cups in there, let's begin.
They squish the apples. Well, first they grow them, then they collect them, and then they squish them and make juice from them. And that's apple cider.
Do you know how we squish them?
No, I don't.
I'm not sure either. I think they use a press.
Yeah, I was thinking
I don't think we'd squish them with our feet.
No. Yeah, I picture a big round circular tank that's made out of wood that has a wooden top that gets cranked around, probably in a screw-like. I would imagine that the top screws down and they turn it, and it presses all the apples and squishes all the juice out.
Does that sound fun to you?
Are you ready to try some?
Can I ask your name?
I'm Lisette.
Lisette?
I'm Trevor's mom.
Trevor's mom.
Yeah. This is Layla.
Layla, it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Yeah, it's my mommy.
Your mommy also?
No,
No?
I don't know where Layla's mom is.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's very affectionate.
She is. She loves you like a mommy also.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. Thank you very, very much. A great explanation as far as squishing the apples. And we'll find out more from Kathy Martin as far as are we correct how that's done. I think we are, however. Might be more modern stainless steel kinds of presses, but that was a great explanation. Do you think healthier? And do you know what you don't do? You don't carry it by the stem. Do you know why? Why? Because if you carry it by the stem, it might break off. And if it breaks off, then it might go bad quickly.
Yeah.
It'll last for a little while, but it won't last as long because it doesn't have the handle. If you were bored, you can come right over here and do checkers with pumpkins at Brown's Harvest. You can play with your child, you can play by yourself, you can play with another adult while you're hanging out. great ventures over here.
On our mums, we start them in our greenhouse the first week of June, and we choose all our varieties. There's probably 15, 16 different varieties of mums we use. And my sister, that's her project for the summer. And they're very thirsty, so they need water every day, sometimes twice a day, depending on the weather. But a beautiful group. We've done some tricolors this year and some hanging ones. I use my two planters as examples. There's one planter, they came back beautifully, and the other planter didn't, because the other planter is closer to the road, so that might have had something to do with it. But it's just, I think it's lucky.
It's the plant, just
Yeah,
like life.
it's a
Some
plant.
grow
If it feels,
short,
if
some
it feels
grow
like
long.
coming back, it'll come back.
Great. Now, what have we got right up here?
Oh, this is just a picture taking place. We have a lot of families that come back year after year, and you can see the kids growing, and it's just a traditional picture taking spot.
Great.
So our pumpkins this year, we don't have great huge ones. That's about as big as we can get them this year, because the rain in June really delayed planting of a lot of things. So yeah, so maybe they'll be bigger by the end of October, but anyway, this is what the great big ones aren't the great big ones, and those go very quickly too. I think we actually sold all our real big ones that would be like 70, 80 pounds. Yeah. But we have about 17, 18 different varieties of pumpkins, and then we just grow them in fields all over Windsor and sometimes Suffield, and we just cut them and bring them up here for sale at the stand. Yep, and this year we have a great big 5-acre maze in the...
Yes, I want to take a little trip.
You want to take a little trip? Okay, Ann, you're going to be brave.
I'm going to be brave. Just a little trip.
It's not a scary maze by any shape.
No. I think, Kathy, that's something we should talk about, because each year you've come about with different things. And here you've mentioned families come back each year.
Yep.
And yours is a family business. How long have you been doing this family business? I know it goes back generations, but...
Well, the family farming itself goes back, I'm 5th generation, so the mid 1800s. The pumpkins themselves, the hay rides and all that, this is our 37th season.
Wow.
So there are actually 3 generations coming. So we've got grandparents coming back who said they were here as kids.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's fun. They've got their traditions going, and yeah.
And for any of you that have not been here to Browns or are new to town, this is the place to come. You don't have to go out of town. You can stay right here, and you're located in the north end of town, headed towards Bradley Field. For all of those that aren't familiar with where you are. But the fact that it's a family business and you cater to families, I find marvelous, because I find Windsor as a family community.
It is a family community. Yep. Yep, we're a mile south of the airport at the corner of Route 75 and Rainbow. And we're easy to find.
Great.
Right up 75.
With all her ducks in a row. And they're children from the Early Learning Center, and they're headed over to, I think, the maze, Kathy?
We call it the kids' maze.
The kids' maze.
It's a smaller, very compact and non-threatening maze.
Environment, that's
wonderful. Yep. The kids have a lot of fun in there. So you have, 2 to 10-year-olds is really what it's geared toward, and they have a blast in there.
Now we can see the children heading into the little children's maze, or the kids' maze. There's a huge big hand-painted wooden pumpkin as an entrance. As you can see, there are lots of playground equipment around, so the kids can have a great time and really be amused. And it's just a wonderful place to spend a few hours. Come on a Saturday or a Sunday, and we'll talk a little bit later as far as foods are concerned.
It's safe.
How did you learn about us?
Our Miss Kristen,
Okay.
she knew about it.
Okay.
It's been here for a long time. I used to come here when my kids were little.
Oh,
Yeah.
now that's just what Kathy was talking about, generational
Yep,
things.
yep,
That's great.
yep. Kids seem to love it.
Oh, yes, the kids seem to love it.
Yeah.
Great. Have you ever been to any kind of mazes or things like this other years?
Yeah.
You have?
Yep. This is our first time here.
Here.
I definitely think we would come back.
You would come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yep.
an awesome place. So obviously you were from the area if you've been here before.
Yep.
Barry DeSopo.
Barry DeSopo. And you have been with Brown's Harvest?
I think about 9 or 10 years now.
10 years.
Uh-huh.
Now what do you like about today?
What I
Tell
like
me
about
your
today,
feelings.
what I like about today is seeing a bunch of kids have a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of fun. It's a nice thing to see the kids get out away from a classroom situation and just have a good time.
Do you think they're learning anything?
I would hope. I just had a discussion with a little boy about the bees, and he was worried about them, and I explained to him that these are Brown's Harvest bees, and we love them. So be careful of them and stay away from them. You don't hurt them; they probably won't hurt you.
This is all great information, and it is a learning experience, I think, because, as you just said, this little boy learned as far as the good bees and not to be afraid of them, and they're learning as far as the growth of pumpkins. Now, I saw you doing the apple cider. Did
Yeah.
you speak about the apple cider to the kids?
Yes, I did. I explained to him that it came from Connecticut apples. It's actually out of Avon cider mill, and that it's a lot of kids don't understand what cider is. So you tell them it's apple juice. It's great apple juice,
Oh, yes.
and every one of them took a couple of apple juice or cider and seemed to enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, I had one woman that we had spoken with, and I had overheard her talking to the two children that she had on her lap, and she was explaining about an apple press. Have you any idea, as far as an explanation there, just how the cider is made?
Oh, sure. It's a large, looks like a wooden barrel, very similar to a wine press. And they load all the apples in, and they just crank it down, and it crushes all the apples. And they'll back it off and crush it again and crush it again. And you can see all the juice running out of the apples, and that's apple cider.
That's apple cider.
That's
Well,
apple
that's
cider.
great, because
You can do that at home too.
Yes, I do that at home to make my applesauce.
Oh, I do too.
Um,
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And peels and all go right in that pot, and then just
If you have a food
put it
mill,
through the sieve. and
that's all you gotta do,
That's all
and-
you have to
and-
do. And there's no sugar, there's no cinnamon, there's nothing. It's just scrumptious.
none better.
Yep.
That's the best
Great.
I've ever had. So,
All right. Well, thank you very much, Barry.
well, thanks for being here.
Oh. On this particular one, there's a little learning lesson here, and I would need one of the Browns to be here to tell us what the answers are, because I certainly don't know. So we'll bring you back to this one. We just talked about this pumpkin, and I said I didn't know the answers. Would need one of the Browns, and look, by magic, Kathy lifts up the cover, and it's 90% that the pumpkin is, what is the question? Water. So when you come to Brown's Harvest, you can find the answer right underneath. Just lift up the cover.
So this year we have a new giant 20-foot slide that the kids are loving.
Oh, I bet
Yeah. So we'll have to come down and try it out.
Yeah.
You think you'll try it, Ann?
Does it have stairs?
It does.
It does?
It's
I
kind of
just might.
steep though.
It's kind of steep. Well,
Although I haven't gone down myself, but
we know that
pretty much all the help has gone down. So when you come and help me,
Yeah,
we'll give it a try.
we'll give it a whirl.
All right.
No, I'm game for things like that.
I know you are.
I'm a giant-sized kid.
Here, you take.
Okay, I'll take this. If I have questions along the way, we'll
Oh,
bring
okay.
them up. Now, some of these paintings have been done by, as far as pumpkin pictures and that kind of thing.
Oh
And
yes,
she-
my friend Cheryl Harrigy, she has a frame shop in South Windsor, and she does all the signs, and she does all my painted pumpkins. So she's a good friend. She's grew up in Windsor with her family, and yeah, she's been a part of this farm for many years.
And many of us old-timers are going to know her as Cheryl Brookman.
Cheryl Brookman, right?
Yep.
Yep,
Great. It's wonderful that it's connected families again.
that's right.
Okay, now we're going to the giant.
Oh, the
Maze.
maze. Yeah. Well, our theme this year is bullying prevention, and those spookly the Square Pumpkin story. It really captures that bullying prevention theme and how we treat each other and being kind to our friends. And so in the maze, we have 4 paths. 2 of the paths are the storyboard, the story of Spookly the Square Pumpkin, and then there's 2 word find paths. So our clients, I guess we can call them
visitors.
clients, our friends that come to the maze will be given a word find, and they find different words related to the theme of bullying prevention. And then they can turn in their completed word find, and we put them in for a drawing for a gift card to Brown's Harvest. These pumpkins are still turning orange. We got a little late planting this year, but we got plenty of orange ones and some more coming along.
Look at all those bees and butterflies
Yeah.
pollinating them.
Yep. The bees are very handy. Picture of the pumpkins and how they grow in the field. So, Ann, this is your first time in the
my
maze.
first time in a maze.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I've been in the little kid maze with kids, but never in the
Never
adult
in the big.
maze.
All right, we
dear.
won't get you lost.
No.
We have maps, if you
Okay.
so desire, and then we also have. You can put the map on your iPhone,
Oh,
so you don't have to use the paper.
well, I'd
Just
have to
carry
have
it
my
on.
daughter Kelly here to do that because I don't know how to do it.
It's easy.
It's easy.
So the corn, we want the corn to stay on. So hopefully people won't pull the corn off.
Okay.
But actually, the raccoons are really enjoying the corn.
Whoa.
Yeah. So here's
Now you
Here's a
said
s-
somebody will come and take the corn, but that's not eating corn.
no. They combine it and it gets so it'll be a dairy farmer that'll come and combine the corn or sell it to a dairy farmer.
Great.
So I was talking about how the map, they can use their iPhone, scan the code, and then they'll have this map come up on their phone. So there's no way they're going to be getting lost. Although we had one person get lost. So we have the different trails. We have the Spookly Story Trail A, which tells the first half of the story. And then over here, they can backtrack, come back here to the center, and go to the second story trail, and that's the rest of the story. But they have to locate the storyboards in the path. And then our other 2 trails are word find, words like
Yeah.
kindness and speak up and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have water available, and if anyone has any questions, you have to come back here to get out, get back to the center to get back out. But there's people here to help you if there's any questions or concerns. No, this is the story. We're going
Oh,
on the
it's
story.
okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
love this story. Now there's a DVD on this too, is there not, or am I wrong?
No, there's a DVD,
DVD,
and that's
I
the
thought
movie
so.
that we're going to show next
Okay.
Friday. So here's
Alright.
our first storyboard, and then this trail there's 6 stories, 6 pages of the story, and then we ask a question,
Okay.
and then onward to the next one.
Now that one says Spookly was different. Answer this question. Have you ever seen pumpkins that looked different from one another? Maybe some of them were not perfectly round. Maybe some of them were different colors. And I think in this story there might have been a little bullying going on to begin with.
Yes.
And the gist of the story was not a nice thing to do. And even though he was square, just as all of us are different. Some of us are short and tall, heavy and skinny. Differences should not matter.
So this is the thing with the 4 trails. You could choose to do 1 trail or 2, or all of them. So I know some people have spent 3 hours in here, and some people have spent an hour. So you do have a choice. I know there was. I've been the only other maze I've done. I went in. It was just paths, and I wanted to leave, and I couldn't leave, and that was not fun.
No.
I had to find my way out.
No.
So I kept that in mind
Yeah.
in planning this maze. Is to
this
get
is
out when you want to get out.
absolutely awesome.
And the eyebrow of Spookly. Do you remember on the map we had Spookly's eyes and then eyebrows? That's why it's a little sparse here. Because from the air, it comes out as the dark, yeah.
Okay, so I saw a picture on the desk
Yeah?
where you go in to pay, and I wondered what that was. So from the air, that's this.
This is the eyebrow of Spookly. Yep. So that's another way to help you find your way around, and then obviously this is a little dead end, so we have to turn around. Now Pacer helps coordinate this. It's the National Bullying Prevention Center, and Pacer.org has a lot of information for schools and groups that want to do more activities with the bullying prevention theme.
Wonderful.
And this is a all year round thing.
Yes.
So
It's an
it's an everyday. So
Yep.
Pacer.org would be a great place for educators and teachers and so forth to visit. This weekend we have DJ Chris, and he comes. He does a lot of trivia, a lot of music, and the kids love it. I see the kids dancing, the parents dancing. And so he just creates a very fun atmosphere here in the farm. And he's here this weekend, and he'll be here one day every weekend. So you'll have to check the website to see what days he's coming.
What is the website?
brownsharvest.com. We also have a band, Point Black. They've been here 3 or 4 years now in a row, and they're just a lot of fun. And again, I don't know the date off the top of my head, but I believe it's next weekend. So Columbus weekend,
Yeah.
we'll actually have Spookly here.
Oh.
So Spookly will be here, and he'll be greeting families and kids, and you can take your picture with them. And he'll be here all weekend and all 3 days.
3-day weekend.
Yep.
Great. Awesome.
And then the following weekend is the Shriners. So for the Shriners, we're doing $1 from our maze fee will go to the Shriners Hospital. And the Shriners Clowns will be down, the fire truck, the false alarmers will be down, and I'm hoping the cars will be able to make it as well. So that is the 19th and 20th.
20th.
Yep.
So it's 2 days.
Yep.
Wonderful.
And we're also, part of the proceeds from that day too goes to Andrew Herge, who is our pumpkin painter's son, who is an avid skier, and he races for the Paralympics, and he's working towards a spot on the Paralympic team for the Olympics coming up in Russia. Yep.
We just talked about Cheryl Brookman Hagee as far as painting pumpkins. And here we have a display of the hand-painted pumpkins. And if you happen to be here on a weekend, she will paint whatever you would like on the pumpkin's face. Above us, we have painted pumpkins of over the years. And I see one up there for the beanery. Brown's Harvest is great about donations to some of our businesses when they're having events. And the beanery pumpkin was done for their opening, if I'm not mistaken. And here we also have some gourds and different kinds of shapes and sizes, making great decorations.
Friday night, the 11th, 6:30. There'll be food. There'll be, we'll show Spookly the movie, about 40 minutes, 45-minute movie. And it's a fun time with family. Okay, here at Brown's, we have been making our own little cider donuts in our kitchen here for probably over 35 years. So they're a favorite of many, and a lot of people come just for the cider donuts. We make them the mini size, because it's great for the kids to handle and eat. We also bake scones and coffee cakes, apple pie, pumpkin pie, other things for sale. We got some great books, fall decorations, and of course our spookly items, as well as butternut squash and gourds and so forth. Again, we're located 1 mile south of Bradley Airport, the corner of Route 75, which is also known as Pequannock Avenue and Rainbow Road. You can check us out on our website, brownsharvest.com, and friend us on the Facebook.
Kathy, I want to thank you on behalf of Win TV and on behalf of the Windsor community for having such a wonderful, wonderful spot for us to visit and a wonderful family business. And we appreciate everything you've taught us today.
Well,
and
thank
we
you,
hope this
Ann.
will bring more business in your direction.
Thank you.
So on
We
behalf of
enjoyed your visit.
Good.
Very much.
Good.
Welcome anytime.
On behalf of Win TV and Walsh, we hope you've enjoyed this little series with Kathy Brown Martin and the farm at Brown's Harvest.
Very special guy.